Hi, YouTube. I wanted to talk about my manifestation goals for 2026. Since we hit the new year up and running, I've been thinking a great deal about the things that I want to not only push, pursue, but accomplish this year. I don't want, nor do I intend on playing games this year. Everything that I have in my mind about what I want to manifest, I'm putting pen to paper, I'm putting intention behind it, I'm putting hard work behind it, I'm putting focus, prayer, you name it. Um, as I spoke about, in the previous videos, 2025 being difficult, I have some medical things that I have to kind of sort out this year, but my perspective is very much focused on my wellness, physical, financial, emotional. I'm not playing. So the three things that I want to focus on in pursuits of my goals for 2026, having the audacity to dream big. Um, not up until I would say recent, I realized I'm like, okay, I'm not dreaming big enough. You know, the things that I've accomplished up to this 42 years of mine has been, I would say, rather impressive. Not what I would like or where I want to be, but I have to give myself the grace and I also have to give myself the credit because I made a lot of things happen in this time frame. Whether it be being in the military, working in the government, you know, having my degrees and in pursuits of another one. It's been a list. And I mean, I'm grateful, but I realize there's more to get. And my intention is set on getting that. Like, we're not making excuses 2026. We're not. In the gym every day, hydration, sleep. Like, I really want to be intentional. Working more on my nutritional aspect and getting the kinks worked out on that, but we're not playing. So I would say having the audacity to dream big. Things that I would say, okay, can I achieve this? And in my mind, I'm like, yes, you can achieve that. Do that. Get two of them. Okay. That's what I'm going to do. Having that audacity. The second thing is self actualization, pushing myself past my comfort zone, making sure that not only I stay dedicated, grounded, but motivated to get what I need to get done. No excuses. Whether it be discipline, organization, drive, prayer, you know, leaning on my friends and my family for support, I am going to get this. I don't want to speak too much on specifics because it's always my understanding that, you know, you can talk to people in a general sense about goals, but you don't want to get too specific until those goals are actualized. Okay? So the third thing I would say is just keeping the faith, you know, keeping the prayer up, doing the things necessary to maintain that state of mind that I need in order to fulfill these goals. So, for one, it's the audacity to dream big. For two, self actualize. And for three, not only do I want to maintain a state of mindfulness and being intentional, but I also want to have a state of gratitude, being thankful. I am immensely grateful for all the things that I have accomplished up until this point, and it has not been easy. So many stories I could share about like trials and setbacks and things that I had to endure, but we're here. Part of life is understanding that this is an experience to be lived, to be had. And yeah, we're all going through this realm in a human form, just trying to figure it out. But sometimes if you see having emulated and were able to obtain whatever goals they had, try and focus on that and hone in on their skills. See what works for them, and it may work for you as well. So you don't have to recreate a blueprint. If it works, it may be something to look into. So to me, those are the three things that I want to focus most on. When it comes to my diet, nutrition, being focused, I want to do like I would say a 30 or 40-day vegan challenge. Not necessarily just vegan, but raw vegan. I've been vegetarian, vegan for years, but I want to be intentional because when I know I'm 100% raw vegan, and it's difficult because I love my tea, I love my hot beverages, but if it's a sacrifice that I need to make, then it's something that I need to consider. When I do a raw vegan diet, not only is my mind clear and I'm able to critically think more, I feel like my body just functions on an optimal level. So that's one thing that I'm definitely going to do. Two, as I mentioned, physical fitness. Like, since this year started, I've been hitting the gym. I think I missed 2 days because I needed some time to recoup. Having going through some mental challenges and just more or less, I don't even want to say melancholy, thinking about past disappointments. I have to learn how to compartmentalize and turn that part of myself off and realizing that everything up until this point was for a reason, and you acknowledge the good, the bad, the ugly, but it can also push you into a state of just forward movement. When you are focused on the past, that's where you'll stay. And nothing can be accomplished looking backward. You have to look forward. So I have to constantly remind myself of that. And I think I'm getting better with that. So to me, I think it's dope. I'm so excited for a lot of these opportunities. I'm excited for new possibilities. I'm working on a couple new things that, we'll see if it comes to fruition. Once it's done, then I can kind of like talk a little bit more about it. But things that I feel like it's time for a change. 2026, if nothing taught you past years, over the last few years, you have to kind of learn how to pivot. And I feel like this year specifically is very unique because we're coming out of just a global shift. And I think with that needs to be a new mindset. So just positivity, working through the kinks and really putting your best foot forward. That's what I want to work on. So that sleeping, I need to sleep more. I feel like my sleep hygiene needs to be improved. I would say a little bit. For the last few days, I don't understand. I would wake up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning for no reason. Like, I could see if it was like a loud noise or, a loud neighbor or something to that effect. Nothing that I could pinpoint. I've always had, even since a child, very vivid dreams. And, I try to make a concerted effort to kind of like think back and remember, because some dreams you have difficulty remembering. Some dreams are, I guess, more prominent and could be a bit more troubling. So you tend to kind of like remember a little bit more detail. So I want to work on my sleep hygiene. I'm hoping that I can do it without taking melatonin. In the past, I've taken it. I mean, it's fine, but I want to get just a rhythm going. I know ashwagandha is good when it comes to like, calming yourself. I have chamomile lavender tea. Maybe I need to start drinking that at night. So there are some homeopathic, I would say, remedies you can kind of like look into to see what best fits. But, for me, I just want to focus on getting my body just at rest and relaxed. I think that's probably it too. A lot of times it's difficult for me. Like I'll get into a loop in my mind and I'm like, I can't get out of it. Trying to do breath work and things to kind of like just help relax and calm my body. I think also too, me having different work schedules where I tend to work late at night some evenings. I think that definitely does a number as well. So, so that's that. What else? Relationships. Now, when I say relationships, I'm talking about family, friends, coworkers, associates, neighbors, romantic. My objective moving forward in this being in this state that I'm in, any relationship that I feel is in direct opposition with my mental health, direct opposition of just like, you ever get the impression like when you speak to someone, you get like tense, or your heart tends to beat a bit faster, or you get anxious? I am learning more than that, to listen to my body and realize, okay, these are some signs that your body is telling you for a reason. Take heed. I no longer hold space for things, people, places that I feel can compromise my thoughts, compromise my emotion, get myself off balance. Like it has to be in alignment. And more often than not, if you remove those distractions, you can and will perform better. So that is a goal for me. Um, Past relationships of mine, I wish everyone well. I don't have anything negative to say about anyone. What's done in the past, it's the past, and we all have to move forward. There were some lessons that I definitely learned from these experiences, and I think that's the key component too. Because I would hate to say that, I was with someone or I learned something. I mean, I was with someone or we shared whatever type of relationship we had, and there was no learn lesson. My objective is to honestly learn the lesson so I don't have to repeat the lesson. And that's fine. To me, I think that that relationship was not done in vain. Things are going to happen. People are people. Not everyone is meant to go through this journey in life with you 100%. Some people are here for a specific reason, a specific purpose, and a specific time frame. And I get that. I wholeheartedly acknowledge that. And I wish everyone nothing but the best. Case in point, I was talking to an ex of mine some weeks back. Every now and again we'll talk and kind of like not necessarily reminisce, but talk about just life things and catch up a bit. And he's like, oh, well, our birthdays are literally 2 days apart. And he's like, oh, well, I'm gonna be away for my birthday because he was traveling out of the country. And he's like, oh, well, can we meet up maybe like later on or at the beginning of the year to kind of like just break bread and talk? And at first I'm just like, I don't feel like it would be a detriment. So I was like, you know what? Okay, we can do that. But then I'm thinking, as I'm going into this new year, I have to set the tone. And any and everything that I allow in my space moving forward, like to me, I'm using this time as an absolute reset. I have to have a justifiable reason why I'm entertaining this person for any amount of time, because I don't have any time to waste on people, places, and things that are not in my greater good. And not to say that he is a mean-spirited person. He's a very nice person and a genteel person. He's just not my person. And that's okay. I decided that, okay, it wasn't in my best interest to do that. I didn't quite see the purpose. And I just kind of like kept it as is. So I told him, I was like, listen, I don't really feel like there's a real point behind it. And I think I mean, he was receptive. He's always receptive, like, especially if I'm frank about situations. Like, I'm a true Sagittarius. He's a Sagittarius too, but I'm a true Sagittarius. If I'm feeling something, I'm going to tell you. If I'm not feeling something, I'm absolutely going to tell you as well. So I think that's just it. I think people, I'm learning, once that chapter is closed, there's no need to keep revisiting it. It's like a scab, like an open wound that you're continuously picking at, that obviously is not going to heal or heal properly. So you have to make that effort to take that next step to do something that's going to, obviously put you in a better situation. And that's just that. I wish everyone the best. Like, I don't like to speak ill about people, because to me, I'm big in karma. I'm really big in setting that tone, because you never want it to come back to you. And I wouldn't want someone to just unnecessarily bad talk me, just for the purpose of just sheer, entertainment. The time that I've shared with someone, let that be between us and just that, and respect it for what it is. And I think that's just part of like the growing pain or lessons that you learn as you get older. Your perspective will change, but the key is to evolve. And that's where we're going to leave it. So, people, places, and things. If I know something is a trigger for me, I don't wish to revisit it. I've had a very rough childhood. I had some not so favorable experiences. I don't need to re traumatize myself and reminding myself about X, Y, and Z. Acknowledge it, hug your inner child, and you can free yourself from the situation. I don't like, and I feel like for the longest time, I was in a state of bondage where I felt like I was compelled to limit myself based on past hurt, trauma experiences, and that's no longer acceptable. That's no longer the case. I'm making a concerted effort to move myself past it all, because again, where I want to get to, and my key focus on elevation, it depends greatly on my focus. It depends greatly on my mindset and my intention. That is it. So those to me are the three things. And when I say manifest, being grounded, getting energy from source, however you take that or interpret that, it would be up to you. Researching, reading, stimulating your mind, making sure you're fueling your body properly, being kind to yourself, putting yourself in a mental state that, has the capacity to absorb things. It's so funny. I was watching this YouTuber earlier today, and she is a big proponent on manifestation and manifestation practices. But the one thing that she said that, I'm just looking at the time because I have to go back to work. She said, be still. And I kid you not, I'm hearing her say it. And in that mind frame, I literally just cleared my mind. And within seconds, I got a call. I'm not going to speak on what specifically the call was, but to me, it was a sign. I was like, oh, okay. Maybe there's something to it. So something as simple as just being still, being present, being in the mind frame to absorb what this universe has, and allowing that to gravitate towards you in a natural state. I think that is just immense. To me, that was so profound. I was like, oh my goodness, something as simple as that can put you in that space and mind frame for you to prosper. So, I mean, I leave everyone with that. Like, share, subscribe. I appreciate any and every person that's willing to listen to my rant. And I got to go back to work. So, have a good night.